Sunny skies and a holiday weekend, a perfect combination for the season opener between the Crusaders and the Hawks. It's college football at the Jersey Shore, next on ESPN3. Hi, and good afternoon, everyone. Alongside my partner in crime for the season, Eddie Acapinti, I'm Matt Harmon. Eddie, this is the season opener for both of these teams, each obviously trying to get off to a good start. So much excitement revolving around the opening kickoff. Holy Cross, a team that went 4-8 last year, but the Crusaders played in a lot of tight ball games.
Matt, high expectations in 2015 for Holy Cross. Last season, they lost 6 games by a touchdown or less. They bring back the cores on both the offensive and defensive sides of the football for this year.
For Monmouth, the Hawks went 6-5 in 2014, playing in the Big South, always regarded as one of the top conferences in all of FCS football, but the Hawks do have a lot of question marks.
You said it, a lot of question marks on both sides of the football. This Monmouth team is talented. They're very, very young, graduating a quarterback from a season ago, as well as some key players that contributed on both sides of the ball.
You know that for all teams around the country, they are depending on their quarterbacks to make sure that week one goes pretty steady. For Holy Cross, they might have a bit of an advantage in this game with junior Peter Pujols.
I would agree with what you just said 100%. Peter Pujols is one of the better dual threat quarterbacks in all of FCS football. Second team All-Patriot League a season ago. He got his first ever game action in 2013 against this Monmouth team, almost brought Holy Cross back from a 2-touchdown deficit.
Redshirt freshman Cody Williams, the Massachusetts native, will start here today for Monmouth. He's also a dual threat guy.
About 100 family and friends from Cody's group expected down today. You said it. One of the true dual threats Kevin Callahan has had at Monmouth University, just no game experience. Huge question mark coming into this game. He's talented. How quickly he picks things up, we'll have to keep an eye on.
Both teams hoping that their 2015 season gets off to a good start. We have the opening kickoff for you right after this quick timeout on ESPN3. So much excitement involving the opening kickoff of the college football season all around the country. Our little slice of heaven here at the Jersey Shore in West Long Branch, New Jersey. Alongside Eddie Acapinti, I'm Matt Harmon, and we welcome you here on ESPN3 from Monmouth Stadium. It will be the Hawks and the Crusaders getting together. Eddie, let's take a look at your keys to the game.
And Matt, the things I'm going to be keeping an eye on this afternoon, in addition to the quarterback battle that we discussed in pregame, Levon Chaney was the man in a co-starring role for this Monmouth team a season ago. Behind Jacksonville Jaguar draftee Neil Sterling, Chaney earned second-team honors. He's the man this year. How can he carry the full-time load? For Holy Cross, everyone's back, including Mr. Pujols, as we referenced in our pregame. They bring back talent on both sides of the football. And then lastly, I'm keeping an eye on the jitters in this game. Both teams have been playing in not only scrimmages, off-season practices, and conditioning. This is the first time they're going to hit someone with another logo on the helmet since 2014. The team that reacts best to adversity early in this game will most likely have success as it goes on.
Monmouth won the opening kickoff. The Hawks have elected to receive. It will be Zane Wasp, number 37, to kick off the season for both the Crusaders and the Hawks. Back deep, downward ambush, and Ed Royds. This one soaring out of the back part of the end zone and will come out for a touchback. As we referenced, redshirt freshman quarterback Cody Williams will get the start today for Monmouth. 6'4", 190 pounds, was 30-5 as a starter up in Springfield, Mass. Threw for close to 7,000 yards. Monmouth will have it first down and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Williams will operate here about 5 yards back at the 20. Has Levon Chaney as the single back off to his right. Now will motion out of the backfield, go left. Williams will fake it to the outside, will keep it and run, and pick up about 2 just out over the 27-yard line to make it 2nd down and 8 for the Hawks.
Monmouth will go no huddle for majority of this game, Matt. It's rare to see either team huddle anymore, and you'll see Cody Williams look to that sidelines a lot to offensive coordinator Kevin Morris.
3 wide receivers set here for Williams off to the left side of the formation. It'll be Cheney up the middle, tripped up around the 30 for a gain of 3. Let's take a look at the rest of that Monmouth offensive unit that will join Williams. Veteran offensive line. McHugh, a starter from a year ago, as was Thompson, Mador, and Bell. Hakeem Vallis, a former wide receiver, made the switch last year to the tight end spot and responded with 18 catches for 3 scores. 3rd down and 5. Williams will empty out the backfield. 4 off to his left. Single man, Pat Gray, the 5th-year former defensive back, to the right side of the formation. Mild pressure. Williams in trouble and will get sacked. Taken down by Dean Doe. Converted defensive lineman from a year ago. He'll operate up on the front oftentimes and will get the sack at 3 last season.
And here we'll take a look as the youngster under pressure. What a move on the outside by Doe. He got around Sammy Bell, and he gets into the backfield for the sack.
Matt White will come on to punt it away. White, a sophomore from Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, had a tremendous preseason and gets off a pretty good one here. High hanging punt. It will be Khalif Raymond, one of the top returners in the Patriot League. Off to the races. The edge is sealed. He's got just the punter to beat. Raymond slips a tackle at the 20, will dive forward and be called out of bounds inside the 5. It will be 1st and goal for Holy Cross. Big block that got Raymond off. There is, however, a flag down on the field thrown right around the 32-yard line.
We'll get one more look at it. That was a big-time play here. Special teams, always that great equalizer. We talked about jitters for either of these teams in this first game. Watch Marcus Leslie get blown up right there. Big-time block coming in your screen. Huge play from Atkins. And here, there's the late flag thrown. Probably in the area of a block in the back.
Holy Cross, big special teams play, gets negated by an illegal block, but the Crusaders will start here, 1st down and 10 from the Monmouth 42-yard line. Peter Poulials, the 2-time now captain, 2nd team All-League a season ago. Veteran wide receiver core that he will split 3 of which out to the left side of the formation. Long cadence for Poulials. We'll give it to Gabe Gould, the junior tailback, stacked up after a small gain, 2nd down and long. Defensively for Monmouth, the Hawks operating out of the 4-3. Jack Eisenstadt back after missing last season with an injury. Demetrius Smith, good one in the middle. John Sikowski was a 2nd team All-League performer last year. Joe Johnson, the veteran of a pretty talented defensive secondary. Johnson has been a starter since his freshman year. Poulials wanting to throw, hangs it high in the air. It's hauled in by Brendan Flaherty, who will make the catch at the Hawks 34 with a 3rd and short coming up.
Flaherty, one of a couple receivers that Holy Cross brings back this season. We talked about it in our open. A lot of skill guys, the running back guild, a few of the other pass catchers that Poulials has at his disposal.
Gould up the middle, will slam forward, bounce off a couple of tackles, stay on his feet, wanting more inside the 10, dragging players down inside. Ball popped out late. They will say Gould was down, and it will be inside the 1-yard line. Holy Cross with a 1st and goal.
Big explosive play there. On 3rd down, able to surge forward, and here you'll get a look coming right at you. Look at the blocking up the middle, shaking off the tackle from Basile, an All-League selection in the Big South a year ago, and then taking Lakeith Celestin inside the 1-yard line.
Gould will check out. Daquan Walker, number 3, as part of a 3-back set. Walker off the right side, in for the touchdown. And Holy Cross takes their opening possession, drives it 42 yards to go up 6-0.
That was very impressive from the beginning of this drive. It started with the big punt return by Raymond, which was called back, and then Holy Cross didn't need a whole lot other than that. There you see Walker dive in, the old Maryland eye with two fullbacks in front of him, and he'll punch it in for Holy Cross's first touchdown of the season.
Connor Fitzgerald, back from a season ago, was a perfect 21 of 21 on PATs. Good snap, good hold, and Fitzgerald off to a good start. 7-7. Monmouth will try and even it up. It's Holy Cross up by a 7-0 tally. We're back right after this quick break on ESPN3. Good opening drive for a Holy Cross. 4 plays, 42 yards. Gabe Guild, 2 carries for 35 before Daquan Walker punching it in from 1 yard out. There you see Kevin Callahan on the sideline. He is the only head coach that the program has ever known. Tom Gilmore in his 12th season with the Crusaders, the former UPenn graduate.
7 straight winning seasons for Tom Gilmore from 04 to 2011. Pujols gets the initial action in 13, and Matt, this team on the rebound from a 4-8 season last year, now looking really sharp early on in 2015.
Second consecutive touchback as Monmouth will come out here for a 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Hawks, as they kind of get things figured out here a bit offensively with so many young players in the mix, they're going to have to really rely on a fairly veteran offensive line.
Yeah, the line has been a unit that has gelled in a couple of seasons here, and with the young quarterback in Cody Williams, running back also a strength along with the line. They really need to try to win the point of attack.
Williams, quick pass to the outside. It's hauled in by Reggie White Jr., 6'3", 195 pounds. Holy Cross defensively starting with a 3-4 set. Richard Barber starting 12 games last year at the defensive end. Macbeth, good one inside, 43 tackles. Both corners back from a year ago. That secondary anchored by 2-time captain Matt Baya. 2nd and 7. This is Cheney bouncing it to the outside. Flag flying in late out to the 31-yard line. The stop is made by J.T. Frank. This will be against Monmouth. What would have been 3rd down in about 5, I would think, set to become 2nd and long.
When you break in a new quarterback, we'll take another look at this here. It's really imperative that the offensive line wins at the point of attack. Here you see with Cheney lunging forward, and that penalty now setting Monmouth with a 2nd and 7.
Williams with a spread look, 2 receivers either side in a stack formation. Cheney as the single back. Cheney will motion. Williams, quick pass to the outside. It's Ambush who will make the catch. Come forward for a small gain. Get close to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 11. Ambush, a guy that's really important for Monmouth. He is the leading receiver back from a very talented group a year ago. 23 catches for 327 yards.
Saw action in a lot of the Big South contests. I'd look for him to be Cody Williams' 3rd down blanket as he looks to develop rapport with these receivers. Where's that safety blanket going to be? I look for it to be Darren Ambush in the slot.
4-man front for Holy Cross. They were able to get Williams on a 3rd down last time. Pressure coming again. Over the middle, it is Hakeem Vallis to haul it in. It'll be a 1st down for Monmouth. We said Vallis, a converted wide receiver, able to find the seam and get the Hawks a 1st down.
Well, there's your other candidate for the guy that Cody Williams can look to when things get crazy. It's Hakeem Vallis.
Quick pass to the outside. It's caught again by White Jr. He'll get close to midfield, perhaps just into Holy Cross territory.
And that second play right there, Matt, went so quick the sticks weren't even set up. But here you see Williams with the quick play action fake. Vallis, a nice adjustment to the back shoulder. And then he's able to carry some tacklers for that 1st down.
Just at the 50-yard line. 2nd down and long. Vallis motioning. Cheney will get the carry. Able to bounce forward with a 2nd effort and get to the 46-yard line with a 3rd down and about 2 coming for the Hawks.
And for the last couple of seasons, Monmouth had UMass transfer Brandon Hill back at quarterback. That zone read didn't fool anyone then. Now you have to respect Cody Williams' running ability.
Quickly back to the line again. It'll be Cheney off the right side. Close to a 1st down. Referee saying it is a 1st down. Sticks will move. As we're coming up on the 9-minute remaining mark here in quarter number 1.
And Monmouth really going fast tempo here.
Williams, play action, sets once, wants to now run off to the left side. He's got good speed down inside the 30 and will run out of bounds at the 28. Late bump out of bounds, and there's the flag. Pretty easy call to make once the quarterback gets past that white area on the sideline. You're always going to protect the ball carrier.
Here you watch the play break down. Williams not afraid to pull it down and run with it. Nice blocking downfield from White Jr. And then that's way too far out of bounds. That is just not a smart penalty from Aleem Muhammad, and he'll add 15 onto that run.
Williams, you would say, a quarterback that when things break down, he could be at his most dangerous. Hawks now with a 1st down and 10. Cheney on the ground, bouncing right and is ripped down. Good defensive pressure. Kobayashi Batten, the outside linebacker, coming up to make the stop. Loss of a couple on the play.
Yeah, they ran the reverse action with Ambush, and needless to say, the Holy Cross defense not fooled at all. Watch number 7 come in your picture in just a second. Nobody went with that fate as Cheney was brought down.
Williams, another quick pass to the outside. It's Matt Choi to haul it in. Flag is out, thrown in the direction of Vallis, who was blocking on the play. Pretty quick flag, usually indicates a hold. Second down will be repeated. Holy Cross taking their opening drive and hopping down the field to score. Up 7-0 here, about the midpoint of our first quarter.
But a sustained drive here for Cody Williams and Monmouth. They went 3 and out on the first series in this game. Now they're stringing together some first downs, showing balance as well.
Trips off to the right. Williams going to scramble to his left. Try and break contain, does. And will run out of bounds close to the 15-yard line. Another good scramble from Cody Williams. Now we say he could be at his most dangerous when things break down, but also maybe doesn't want to scramble all that much.
Yeah, watch how much he has to run on this play just to gain a couple of yards. He's got to get all the way around the outside, miss the tackle there, and then he'll scamper out of bounds. But you said it. You want your quarterback to not take unnecessary hits, even if it's a dual threat like Cody.
3rd and 13. Williams, little play action. One pump, steps up, and then slips down to the 20-yard line. It will set up 4th down. And we'll get an early indication of the kicking unit for the Hawks. Lucas Santangelo back from a season ago, but it looks like it will be Matt White to come on to try this field goal out of the hold of backup quarterback Ben O'Nett. Saw the strength of the Matt White leg during the course of preseason. This will be a 38-yarder from the left hash. Has the distance drifting off to the left, but hooks in on that far side upright to put Monmouth on the scoreboard as the Hawks cut it to 4. 7-3, the advantage for the Crusaders. We'll take a quick timeout and back with more here from the Jersey Shore. Crusaders set to get the football back. Eleven plays, 54 yards, the drive for Monmouth. A drive that took 5 minutes and 15 seconds to get the home faithful at least something to cheer about. 7-3 the score as it sits right now. Stuart Mullins heading the officiating crew today. Can't complain about the weather. Last year I remember the season opener being just hot and sticky. In the 80s today, I think everyone would sign for that.
Now, this is an absolutely perfect day down here at the Jersey Shore. With the exception of, I'm sure, a ton of traffic that's headed down here, but it probably should be here already, Matt. It's going to be a beautiful weekend down here.
Here is Lucas Santangelo. High kick. Fielded around the 15-yard line. Late flag will come out as Khalif Raymond, one of the better return men coming back in the Patriot League, taking it out over the 25-yard line. It'll be an illegal block on Holy Cross to back up the Crusaders a little bit. This is a Monmouth defense, Eddie, that does bring back a host of guys from last year. One spot of concern is in that defensive front. And we saw Holy Cross a couple of nice runs the first time they had the football. Darnell Leslie, one of the top players in that front four, out for the season with a foot injury.
And he was going to be counted on, Matt Hughes, especially in pass rush. But Darnell is one of the better players in the Big South. Talking to Coach Callahan during the week, he'll obviously be missed, but now other guys need to step up in his absence.
1st and 10 from back of the 15. Pouillaz wants to throw to the outside. He's got a man, It's the tight end, Lucas Nicolason, who had 12 catches from a season ago. Will haul it in here, take it out to the 35-yard line, gain of 20.
I don't think so, no. Okay, cool.
Holy Cross working from a no huddle, not quite as much intensity in between plays as we've seen Monmouth so far. Trips off to the left side. Ball will be put in the hands of Walker, who's off to the races again. Tripped up by Basile inside the Hawks 40. Guild and Walker, a pretty dynamite combination at the backfield spot.
And Holy Cross is just gashing Monmouth up front right now. Nothing fancy, just a little sweep action out of the shotgun. And look at Walker turn on the Jets. And only Mike Basile able to track him down. As Holy Cross moving the football at will, they're already up and near 70 yards rushing here in the first quarter.
Walker in a backup role a season ago had 283 yards. Guild will check back in for a new set of downs. Play action. Puyas, a lot of time. Will look off to his left. Jake Wyzorek, the 6-foot junior, who highlights part of a pretty dynamic wide receiver core with Flaherty and Raymond. I just mentioned Nicolason, and an offensive line that brings back Hudgens and Murray from a season ago. Flipped into the flat, and it's broken up. The intended target was Guild. Good pressure by inside linebacker Peyton Minnick.
Played outside a season ago, and how about this funky formation, Matt? Offensive line to the right, and because of that odd formation, Peter Puyals took a shot from the converted outside backer, now starting inside for Monmouth, Peyton Minnick.
Minnick on with John Sikowski at an outside backer spot, and Anthony McDonough, the senior from Philadelphia. Shotgun look for Puyals on 2nd and 10. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. Just got it off. And we'll airmail it into the Monmouth sideline area to bring up 2nd and 10. Holy Cross never really looked comfortable with that play right from the get-go.
Well, since they ran that funky formation play, that and then the play after, they haven't looked really in sync. And Matt, I would want to question, why change from what you're doing? They were running the ball at will on Monmouth, especially on the outside, and that front four for the Hawks needs to start to crank it up a little bit because the holes up front that Holy Cross is creating are huge.
Puyas wanting to go to the outside. He's got a man. It's Raymond, who will have the first down, getting in front of Lakeith Celestine, the junior corner. Long pass from one hash mark to the far sideline, and the ball down to the 10-yard line.
Long throw here from Puyals from the left hash all the way to the right sideline. Good arm strength and a nice grab out there by Raymond.
1st and goal. Puyals will keep it himself, and he's tripped up around the 7-yard line by Mike Basile. Flag is down. Throwing of the numbers on the Holy Cross side of things, we will get a procedure penalty, and Holy Cross will be backed up 5 yards.
We talked about it in our open, but Peter Puyals' first ever action was against this Monmouth team back in 2013 as a true freshman in a backup role. Matt, we saw him that night. You see him this afternoon. He really is bigger and stronger, and he's in complete command of this offense in the red zone again.
4 wide receiver package for Puyals here on 1st down and goal from the 15. Quarterback run up the middle, and Puyals is in for the touchdown. We mentioned he is a dual threat guy, scored 6 times last year on the ground, and gets one here to put Holy Cross up in double figures.
Well, not just 6 touchdowns a year ago. He was this team's leading ground gainer a year ago, over 700 yards. Here you see why. They show bubble screen action to the formation left in that little trip set, and that draws the attention of the defense. Puyals then able to survey things. No one in the middle for Monmouth defensively, and he walks into the end zone.
Connor Fitzgerald for the extra point. Good looking run attack so far from the Crusaders. Fitzgerald will knuckle this one in to make it 14-3. 3:24 remaining here in the opening quarter. We've seen a couple of scores on the ground from Holy Cross, including this one from the quarterback, Peter Pujols. Seven-play, 85-yard drive capped off from Peter Pujols with a touchdown run. These teams playing for the second time in their series history, the first back in 2013, and Peter Pujols was a quarterback who hopped onto the scene, almost brought Holy Cross back into this game. Monmouth had a couple of 100-yard rushers on the day, and the Hawks were able to hold on to a 21-14 victory, a game that was up in Massachusetts. Little different story so far here today. It's been Holy Cross, which has had the better of the running attack. This one a couple yards back deep in the end zone. Ed Royds, one of the senior captains for Monmouth, will bring it out, slip a couple of tackles down inside the 20, and run his way out to the 28-yard line for what will be the third possession for the Hawks.
And here's what I'm keeping an eye on, Matt, on this drive. Cody Williams, up till this point, we've seen a nice job with him running, throwing the football. He settled for 3 last time, but it was good. As there you see, this the second all-time appearance. But now I want to see what he does with the team's back against the wall. It's 14-3, and Holy Cross shows no signs of slowing down. Monmouth in need of a drive here.
Williams 4 of 4 so far on the day. He'll give it here to Levon Chaney, who was hit pretty hard and sent back the other direction. Steve Martinez coming up to make the stop. Senior cornerback from a year ago. Gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And we talked about Monmouth's defensive line and some of their struggles. Well, how good has the Holy Cross front looked so far in this one? Bottling up Levon Chaney already with a sack as well.
Chaney this time off the left side, flag down, thrown in the direction of the center, Alex Thompson. This will be a hold on Monmouth. Third penalty issued so far on the Hawks. Penalty will march the ball back as you see it to the 20-yard line. So 2nd and long now for the Hawks. Williams with a 4-wide receiver package that'll include Hakeem Vallis. Williams will keep it off the right side. Slide just over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Being another 3rd and long situation. You know, So far, Williams has looked pretty good, but the one thing you don't want to keep doing with a young quarterback, Eddie, is have third down and long situations.
They're just going to make that exact point, Matt. If the more times that Monmouth is in these third and obvious passing downs, you allow Holy Cross. And this team with Tom Gilmore does like to bring pressure. Well, you kind of set it up where right now you feed right into that hands at third and long, under 2 to go in this first quarter. Maybe try screen, maybe even draw to Cheney here just to change things up.
Again, a 4-wide set. Williams looking left under pressure, eludes the rush, continuing to go towards the far sideline. Will tuck it and get out of bounds rather than take the sack. Had positive yards, but in a 4th down and long, Monmouth will be forced to punt. Another good job by Holy Cross.
We talked about this defense, which brings back a lot of guys from a season ago. You see good initial pressure off the edge by Dean Doe. He missed Williams first. Another guy goes diving there at his feet. That was Galantini, but Williams unable to really do anything downfield. The coverage has been good. Outside of that pass to Vallis, all the passes completed are right around the line of scrimmage.
Raymond awaiting the kick on 4th and 9. Setting himself inside his own 30. White with another decent kick, angled towards the Holy Cross sideline. It will trickle its way out of bounds. Referee will spot it at the 31, where the Crusaders will have it first down and 10. 14-3, Holy Cross on top of Monmouth late in the first quarter.
Well, besides that 11-point advantage for the visitors from Massachusetts, how about this stat? Right now, Holy Cross outgaining Monmouth 132-63 in total yards, already 80 on the ground for this team. Matt, they're averaging about 15 yards every time they run the football.
Pujols this time under center. Play action rolling right. Looks to the sideline, has a man, and the catch is made by Wyzorek. You've got Guild, you've got Pujols. We've seen Walker be able to run the football. The top 3 receivers back from a year ago. This could be a pretty dynamic offensive football team.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Gilmore during the week, and you know, every coach is excited about his team in preseason, but he was really pumped up about the prospects of this Holy Cross team. Talked about the tight ends at length as well, both of them, and the guys that he wants to rotate in and around. Is we're going to get a replay here. Not quite sure what they're looking at, but Tom Gilmore's in love with this team right now.
Might be seeing whether or not Wyzorek was inbounds when he made the catch, as it was a sideline throw.
Wyzorek, a host of past receivers that come back to this team. And there you see, replay being provided by the Big South. We'll try to take another look at it here on the sideline. That's a tough one. That's close. It looked as though that left foot might have got down, though.
Any part of that foot in white, and it is in incompletion. See, both teams want to get off to good starts here. Interesting in the schedule dynamic, Holy Cross will have the week 2 bye, so they'll have Monmouth here today, and then 2 weeks in between getting ready for a game down at Towson. Let's take one more look at that. I think that very likely could be overturned. I think a little bit of that foot in white.
Yeah, from that second and third look that we're getting, I think I would tend to agree with you, partner. I think kind of the front portion of that left foot might be on that turf line. They're taking a long, long look at it. I didn't see any of the, the black pellets that reside under field turf fly up, but it was definitely close enough to look at again. And it's also close enough that this is an elongated stoppage here.
We've got a different peek at it. They will call it a catch, nothing decisive, which is what you need to see to overturn anything. You always go by the call on the field first and then have to see something decisive to change it. So the catch is made for Jake Wyzorek. second team All-League a season ago. Well, the preseason All-Patriot League team before the season. 4 wide receivers set for Holy Cross. Double fake for Pujols, who will keep it up the middle and get dropped just over the line of scrimmage. Good stop made by Peyton Minnick, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 1. Good start for the Crusaders, who were able to get not 1, but 2 on the board. This was the first one from Walker. 14-3, Holy Cross leads. Still tops in many of the receiving categories in the Monmouth University football program. Miles Austin taking the game in, signing the offseason contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, starred for the Dallas Cowboys back in the day, last year with the Cleveland Browns. Always good to see one of the former Monmouth alums who's made it to the big time back here in West Long Branch.
Been in the NFL a long time, I believe year number 10 coming up for Miles Austin. Made himself a very nice career at the highest level.
2nd down and 9. Holy Cross will keep it on the ground. That's Blaze Bell, number 5. Bell, the backup quarterback, getting a carry here as a utility H-back type set. He'll stay in the game as part of a 4 wide receiver set. 3 left, 1 back to the right for Pujols. There's been no answer for a Holy Cross on the Monmouth defensive front so far. Slip screen to the outside. It is hauled in by Flaherty, who's tackled quickly by Minnick. It will set up a 4th down. Tom Gilmore looks like he's going to play it close to the vest and bring the punt team on.
That was a big stop by this Monmouth defense, Matt. Holy Cross was nearing midfield, and here you see the play. They fake the screen action outside. They try to bring it back inside, but it was diagnosed well by Peyton Minnick, and that'll force this punt. But watch a fake here with the ball at midfield.
Connor Fitzgerald, who doubles as the punter. Good high spiraling kick. It'll be fielded inside the 10-yard line by Joe Johnson. Fair catch called for and made. They will spot the football at the 9-yard line. So a lot of real estate in front here for the Monmouth offense. Those first quarter stats heavily slated, Eddie, on the plus side for the Crusaders.
Holy Cross ran 13 plays in that first quarter. Matt, they gained 146 yards, very balanced. 81 on 6 carries, and Peter Pujols was 5 of 7 for 65 yards.
Ugo Azema, one of the freshman receivers, thrust into action in motion. Give us up the middle for Cheney. Let's talk about the receiving core for Monmouth a little bit. 76% of the receptions, 78% of the yards gone from a season ago. It was a highly skilled but very veteran wide receiver group that Monmouth had last year.
You look at the group from a year ago. Neil Sterling was a 7th-round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He left with some records as well. We started this series looking at Miles Austin. Neil's name up there in the Monmouth record books as well. And then other guys that played a lot. Lamar Davenport was on this team, a reliable third-down receiver. Eric Sumlin had big catches for this Monmouth team, as well as guys like Thaddeus Richards.
Williams dropping the football. It's free, and it's Holy Cross to come away with it. Dwayne Cameron, number 94, the defensive end, coming forward and finally falling on the football, and the Crusaders here with a huge opportunity to go up. They'll have it 1st and goal from the Monmouth 5.
And just an unforced error. Snap was there. It was going to be zone read look. Williams not able to secure the football, and then after he initially bobbled it, not able to dive on top. And that's the concern with a quarterback making start number 1. Maybe he would panic a little bit when a really adverse time came. Holy Cross with a chance to go up big here.
It's Walker up the middle. Flag is down, thrown quickly on the near side. It'll be, I believe, procedure against Holy Cross. Illegal formation is the official call. We're just a couple of minutes in here to our second quarter. Holy Cross leading Monmouth by a score of 14-3.
If you're Monmouth, that last sequence of events, very deflating. Your defense had just come up with a big stop. You had finally gotten Peter Pujols and company off the field, and then your offense with a turnover. We talked in our open about the jitters potentially around a first game. Turnovers plays right into that.
Pujols here gets the snap, looking left, dumps it down over the middle. The catch is made, and into the end zone is Brendan Flaherty. Pujols, 1 on the ground now, 1 through the air, and Holy Cross rolling along here offensively to go up 20-3.
Nothing fancy here, just a drag route from Flaherty. Getting lost in coverage was Ryan Zuchek, the linebacker, and it enabled Flaherty to make the catch, to dive into the end zone. And Holy Cross right now with a chance to go up 21-3.
Fitzgerald 2 of 2 on the day, make it 3 of 3. 21-3. The Crusaders are rolling along here as part of the opening weekend of college football. 21-3. We're back right after this on ESPN 3. Always good converting turnovers into points, and as the temperature here is sitting right around 77 degrees, variable winds and sunny conditions, not a cloud in the sky on this Labor Day weekend. Holy Cross with their third touchdown of the half, the latest of which Peter Pujols coming together with Brendan Flaherty on a 10-yard pitch and catch, and the Crusaders up here by a comfortable 21-3 margin. Wasp will kick it off. Into the wind this time. We saw a couple of touchbacks. This one returnable from Ed Royds at the 15-yard line. Far side out over the 30. And a flag gets dropped by the back judge, who will come in and give a description to the referee. It's a hold on Monmouth. It will negate what was a fairly decent run back. And we'll shift things back inside the 25 to the 21-yard line.
This Monmouth team in dire need of some kind of momentum play here. As you'll get a second look at Royd's return. There was actually a second block in the back I just saw. And the player called was Butler. Zach Welch chipped in with one as well. And however Monmouth goes about it, is it a big play on the ground or through the air? Right now, they appear to be in neutral offensively.
Williams has Cheney to his left, wants to throw. Open receiver was Gray, who turned inside. The ball thrown towards the sideline for an incompletion, and it will set up a 2nd and 10.
Gray, a converted defensive back, played safety the last couple of years, and with some injuries and inexperience in the receiving corps, thrust into action here early.
Another bumbled snap by Williams, who had to go to a knee to grab it. A loss of about 5 back to the 16-yard line. And it will set up a 3rd and long.
Second time we've seen kind of a mishandled snap out of the gun from Cody Williams. It didn't look like necessarily a bad snap. Just maybe wasn't watching it all the way in. And the way that Holy Cross defensive line has been playing, I don't blame him for kind of peeking upward a little bit.
4-man front by the Crusaders. Williams gets it here on 3rd and long. Rolling right, has time in front of him. Will slip a tackle or two out over the 25, maybe to the 26. Not enough, however, for the first down. And Monmouth will have to punt away. You know, Holy Cross listed as a 3-4 team defensively, but as we talked to Tom Gilmore during the course of the week, they can very easily become a 4-down lineman team. They've got Dean Doe, who can go up and back. Doe from the outside, number 54, helping to collapse that pocket.
That flexibility defensively really opens up so many things for you, Matt. And talking to Coach Gilmore, he said it. Yeah, we're a base 3-4, but when you watch them on film and you see what they do, as you said, same personnel, but they can do a lot of different things.
White, good high kick will send Raymond back inside his 30-yard line. Flags are out. Raymond's got the sideline. Crushing block just laid on by Holy Cross. Lawton Ward, the sophomore outside linebacker. Highlight block, but not one, but looked like 2 flags came out.
Yeah, there was 1 flag at the 32-yard line, and then the play right in front of the Monmouth sideline, and Kevin Callahan right there getting an earful from the officials. The one that Ward threw, there was also a flag.
We've got a holding call, and we've got a personal foul targeting call, which was that big block. So Holy Cross whistled not for 1, but for 2 penalties on that punt return.
Yeah, and the targeting penalty, if it's of a severe enough nature, can come with an ejection, too. And that's what they're going to go back and check on Lawton Ward, and I think we'll take another look at it as well. It wasn't the first penalty that was called on that play, which was the holding. It was the second one, and he got Ryan Zuchek pretty good. And here you see, if it's helmet to helmet, he's gone, and that's textbook helmet to helmet, and we could be looking at an ejection here in our first half.
So as the referee will use the replay official to help kind of size things up, let's recap just a little bit what we've seen. Holy Cross been very good offensively. Good look at it, and look, helmet to helmet, that's pretty close to helmet. We'll see if an ejection comes along with it for a Holy Cross. Peter Pujols has kind of been everything as advertised. He's a good game orchestrator, but also makes a ton of plays both on the ground and throwing the football.
I mean, what more do you want out of a quarterback who can be a dual threat guy? Here we'll get another few angles at this play. You can just kind of see the way both their heads snap back. It looked pretty helmet to helmet, but you mentioned it. Peter Pujols, 7 of 9 in this first half, 77 yards, has a touchdown in the air. That went to Flaherty, but then look what he's doing on the ground as well. Has a rushing score, has 15 yards. Matt, how about Holy Cross is averaging 12 yards a carry, which is why, and they're up 21-3. We saw them with a few weird formations, trying to work things out. If they play it straight, for what we've seen for a quarter and change now, they've been the better football team, and they look really good early on.
A good offensive line so far, averaging 298 pounds. Veteran group, all 5 starters are in the junior class. 3 guys got significant time from a year ago. On the flip side, for Monmouth defensively, we said their defensive line was certainly a bit of an issue. Their linebacking core good, everyone back from a year ago, and their secondary has been maybe picked on at different times during the course of the game. They do have some returning players, but a youngster for Monmouth starting today at the safety spot.
And one of their biggest recruits ever, Deontay Fair, true freshman, getting significant action at one of the safety spots. That's a position of strength for Monmouth. Mike Basile was one of the best freshmen in the country a year ago as a true freshman. He's getting significant time, obviously, as a sophomore. And then other good players. Agbayo Rojas, a guy that the coaches really like. Kevin Butler has seen significant time. But if you look on the field right now, it's Basile and it's Fair. And one guy you won't see on the field anymore is Holy Cross's number 45, Lawton Ward, who takes a rather lonely stroll off of the turf here at Monmouth Stadium.
Yeah, the call as a targeting was certain. And as Eddie mentioned, sometimes that can be followed by an ejection. And that is exactly the call on Lawton Ward, whose afternoon is done.
Not only the helmet to helmet, but Matt, they've really tried to cut down on those blindside blocks as well. And they don't want you launching into a guy. And Ward kind of did all 3.
Here's the give to Guild up the middle. And Monmouth that time able to close things down with no gain. Andrew Drzezinski, 5th-year guy, making the tackle from Ewing, New Jersey, about a half hour off to the west from where we are. 2nd down and 10. Pujols coming up, perhaps changing the play with the offensive line. No pressure. Late pressure, lets it fly. Fair is there from Monmouth. As he comes together with Flaherty, it will be ruled as an incompletion.
Late pressure put on Peter Pujols on that play. It kind of enabled that pass to float. Here you see he gets wrapped up late, and this ball really hangs up in the air. And Fair just a hair late getting over. Will get that pass breakup, but after that play, he kind of came up clapping his hands. You know he was looking for the INT.
3rd down here and 10. See if Monmouth brings pressure. They have got McDonough walked up on the edge as the outside linebacker. Hasn't been many of these 3rd and long situations today for Holy Cross. Pujols with time will look off to his right. Wyzorek will make the catch at the 39. And it will be a 1st down for the Crusaders. 17-yard pickup.
That one in front of Lakeith Celestine. He's starting this afternoon. Matt, a guy who started a lot of games a year ago. Marcus Leslie, true sophomore, a little nicked up for Monmouth, so not in his normal left cornerback position.
Deflected ball at the line of scrimmage will fall incomplete, set up a 2nd and 10. And not to belabor the point too much, but the system that so many coaches like to run up front defensively in college football, rotate guys in and out in that defensive line. Last year we saw 10, sometimes 11 players play for Monmouth, and you see the deflection there and the ball falling incomplete. Once you miss a couple of guys out of there, we talked about Darnell Leslie, Jalen Burgess, highly rated recruit, also out. Pass to the outside for Walker, who's upended around the 45-yard line. Now all of a sudden you're playing not just maybe guy number 9 and 10, but 11, 12, 13 going into the preseason. That's not always the plan for a defensive coach.
The good thing is having depth, obviously. The negative part is when your top line guys go down and it forces guys who don't play all the time to have to play more, that's when your ability to get to the passer could be affected. And speaking of passers, how good has Peter Puyal's been this afternoon?
He's been spectacular, just like we thought. Into Monmouth territory with that catch is Khalif Raymond to set the Crusaders up with a first down and 10. Puyal's now 10 of 14, and with this throw goes over the 100-yard mark for the day.
He's just picking his spots. Monmouth has been switching up defenses, both man and zone, and a veteran like Puyal's has been able to dissect them so far.
Puyal's with a hard count will now have Guild go off to his left side. Puyal's good ball fake will keep it himself. Fair up with first contact, cleaned up by Basile. Solid gain, pickup of 5 for Peter Puyal's.
How about the ball fake here? Watch this. I even thought Guild had it for a second. So did a couple of the Monmouth defenders. Zach Talley in there, and Puyal's able to gain positive yardage into Monmouth territory.
3 wide receivers sent to the right. Guild running off to the left side, stretching the play out. Dump for a small gain close to the line of scrimmage. Zach Talley, who was an outside linebacker midway through preseason practice, pushed up to that defensive end spot because of some of the injuries that we mentioned.
Was going to see time in the linebacker core. Instead, opening day starter at defensive end.
Third down here and a long 5. Puyal's with time, looking over the middle for Flaherty. That'll fall incomplete. And the Monmouth defense with a bit better job in this particular series. They haven't been able to pressure Puyal's a whole lot. And some of the players, including Darnell Leslie, out for the season, but some of their graduating players with a lot of sacks, that's something, such an element that you need in the game today. You've got to bring pressure off the edge and make quarterbacks feel uncomfortable.
We've mentioned Leslie a couple of times. We haven't mentioned yet his defensive end mate, Pat O'Hara, from a year ago for Monmouth. Had a handful of sacks and really commanded double teams at times, which allowed Leslie to run free.
End over end kick, wobbly job by Fitzgerald. It bounces at the 15 and gets down around the 16-yard line. We'll step out here for a quick timeout. 6:46 remaining in the opening half. It's Holy Cross 21, Monmouth 3. We're back with a short right after this. Labor Day weekend football, the opening weekend of the college football slate, pretty much all around the country. Good games with those from the respective leagues that these two teams are in. Patriot League for Holy Cross and the Big South for Monmouth. Each team going into the preseason polls kind of picked towards the bottom part of things. Hawks were 1-4 in the league last year. Holy Cross 2-4 in the Patriot League a season ago. Here's the give to Levon Chaney, a guy that Monmouth would love to get going. And he will rumble his way out close to the 30-yard line for a gain of 14.
Chaney, all second team Big South a year ago. But now it's his team after the graduation of a lot of key players on the offensive side. And Matt, outside of that run, the play before, it might not be Chaney, but this offensive line for Kevin Callahan and Monmouth that needs to start asserting itself.
Back-to-back runs for Chaney. That one getting the ball out just shy of the 35-yard line. Chaney stretching it out, cutting it against the grain, and rolling his way towards another first down. We haven't seen any other back into the game for Monmouth. Zach Welch listed as the backup. Carried the football a few times a season ago. Quick play, Chaney again. Off the right side, lowers the shoulder. Will get the first down and the ball out to the 46-yard line. Nothing fancy what we've seen so far from Monmouth, but it's finally working a bit against Holy Cross. Their defense has been excellent all day.
And Chaney gets the run off the field for a well-deserved break after this punishing run right here, nearing midfield, putting the head down for a first down, and now we do get to see his backup, Zach Welch.
Play action, Williams in trouble. Good spin to avoid the sack, and then we'll let it go wisely without trying to force anything. It'll set up a 2nd and 10. We saw the athleticism that time on display from the redshirt freshman Cody Williams.
Well, not just the athleticism, but also his understanding of down and distance and time and situation. He spun away from trouble, didn't try to do too much, just launched it out of bounds. I like that. We've seen him also, when Monmouth got their 3 points, make a smart decision to ensure his team would have a field goal chance. We know he's dynamic. It's the decisions that Cody Williams makes down in and down out that will really put and make a difference.
Here's Welsh. Change of pace from Chaney. Stopped at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Good defensive pressure by the front four. Nick McBeth, the sophomore inside linebacker, coming in to get credited with the tackle.
Here you see something we've seen all afternoon with the exception of a couple Chaney and Williams runs. Stout up front for Holy Cross, that time stacking the line, and now forcing 3rd and long.
3rd down and 10 for Williams. Ambush will motion, trips left. Williams wants to throw, has ambush in the flat. He'll get into Holy Cross territory, but not enough for the first down, as it will go for a gain of about 5.5 yards. Monmouth will bring their punt team on here as we have worked down under 4.5 minutes.
This Holy Cross defense continues to get Monmouth off the field. They have been very, very good in this game. We talked about how many guys they bring back. It's been on display. They have allowed only 100 yards to Monmouth so far.
White will try and pooch it inside the 20. Raymond will slip down inside the 15. And it will be Holy Cross who will have it 1st down and 10. When we return from West Long Branch, New Jersey, the Crusaders off to a great start to their 2015 season, up 21-3 on Monmouth. Peter Pouliot's 10 of 15 so far the day, 106 yards. Also a rushing touchdown with 3 carries for 21. Holy Cross 21, Monmouth 3. We're down inside of 4 minutes remaining here in this first half. Matt Harmon, Eddie Acapinti here on ESPN3. We come to you live from the Jersey Shore with the Atlantic Ocean right down the road. And a busy summer weekend here at the Shore. Late switch for Monmouth. They'll take Garrett Foster, the former Michigan State transfer, line him up as a far defensive end. It'll leave a bit of a hole up the middle for Daquan Walker to sneak through. Out of the 15-yard line to the 16.
It was that late motion shift from Holy Cross that had Foster kind of kick out. They went from lining the H-back up next to Pouliot's till on the line of scrimmage, and that forced Foster to get just one more gap space wide, and that was just enough running room for a gain of 3.
Andrew Foster, 6'6", 285, the freshman, was on the roster last year at Michigan State, but didn't play for the Spartans. Pouliot's running off to the far side, and will get pushed out of bounds by Basile. Depending on the spot of the football, will be close to a first down.
I'll tell you, that was more than a push, too, because it looks like Basile got a decent shot on Pouliot's, and that was right on the limit of penalty, no penalty, on that far sideline in front of the Holy Cross bench.
Let's say third down and a big yard here for both of these teams. Holy Cross has been dominant up front offensively, and Monmouth would like nothing more than to slow things down and be able to give their offense a chance to get some points back on the board before halftime. I formation up the middle, and it will be, on first looks, a first down carry for Holy Cross on about a 2-yard gain from Walker.
Just enough, and it continues a trend we've seen really all first half, and it's been how good Holy Cross has been on both lines, defensively and this unit on the offensive line, paving the way for now near 100 yards and over 8 yards a carry.
Play clock down to 12 for Pouliot's. He was under center, will step back into the gun. Wide receiver screen set up. It's Raymond running from one side of the field to the other, and will get good yards close to a first down. Finally taken down by Talley, who will make the stop.
And Talley had to make the play from behind. Talley will be running towards us right now. Raymond running away as Pouliot's gets out of the pocket, and there you see him start to turn upfield, and Talley has to come all the way from behind to make that tackle.
Similar play to the other side. It's dropped, however, by Flaherty to set up a third down and less than a yard. We've seen Daquan Walker carry the ball 4 times for 35 yards and a touchdown. Gabe Guild, 4 carries for 34 yards. Pouliot's, 4 carries for 27 and a score. Good balance. They had never changed the yard marker in what was a first down earlier, so now 2nd and 10 after that drop catch. Pouliot's opening things up here on 2nd and 10 with a 4 wide receiver set. Design draw play up the middle. Will take it over the 38. Monmouth saying there was a late fumble and pointing in their direction. Demetrius Smith able to come away with the football, but they will say that Pouliot's was down. And it will be third down here for Holy Cross. Week 1 for both of these teams. On the schedule next week for Monmouth, their first ever FBS matchup with Central Michigan. Talked about the week 2 bye already for Holy Cross. Inside of a minute to go before halftime. 4-man front for Monmouth. This one almost intercepted. Good read by Ryan Zuchek, the outside linebacker, senior from Robbinsville, New Jersey, getting in the way to at least break it up, and will force Holy Cross to punt it away. Puyas, one of the first times all day, kind of telegraphed that one. And Zuchek right on top of Wyzorek. Joe Johnson standing inside his own 20-yard line, awaiting the punt of Fitzgerald. Pressure, Fitzgerald dropped it and then got around Monmouth defensively. It will roll down inside the 30 and then take a roll inside the 20. And that's when you know things are going right for you a little bit. Fitzgerald dropped the football and then was able to just get around some impending defenders for Monmouth. Let's get one more look at it. You can see here, just as it was about to hit the foot, friendly turf bounce back up. And now on 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line. We'll see how dangerous Monmouth wants to be. They'll flash it to the outside. Ambush will make the catch. Ambush stays on his feet, breaks into the open field. He's got nobody in front of him. 20, 15, 10, 5. Life here in West Long Branch for Monmouth. Darren Ambush will take it 81 yards. And Monmouth with their first touchdown of 2015. Holy Cross finally asleep at the switch a little bit. Simple play, and Ambush finds a seam, bouncing off 1 or 2 tackles, and then turns on the Jets to get the Hawks into the end zone. Will certainly give MU a bit of life going into the locker room. Monmouth will leave the offense on here, looking to go for 2 to try and get it back to a touchdown and a field goal. Ambush motioning across. Ball from the left hash. Williams rolling right, stopping, in trouble. Throws it towards the back of the end zone. It's caught, but ruled out. Reggie White Jr. had it, but couldn't get the foot down. And Monmouth will have to settle for 21-9 on the scoreboard. See that last 2-point conversion. It was designed to be a throwback from Williams, but nobody was open on the far side. White just couldn't tap down the foot clearly in the back part of the end zone. That touchdown officially 81 yards. Cody Williams to Darren Ambush. Williams throwing his first touchdown pass in his collegiate career, but credit Ambush with doing most of the work. His 3rd catch. And a much needed swig from the water bottle. First mistake really that Holy Cross has made defensively all afternoon long. Ambush, the junior from Dickerson, Maryland, had 23 catches a season ago, averaged over 14 per catch. Lucas Santangelo on to kick it off. Raymond, the deepest man for the Crusaders. He is very dangerous with his hands on the football. High end-over-end kick. It is returnable for Raymond from the 8-yard line. Up the near side hash, and Raymond is dragged down. Marcus Leslie, the sophomore from Miami, will make the stop. And with 13 and a half seconds remaining, Holy Cross will have it for one more play. Puyas will come up in a victory type look, just looking to take a knee and get out here. It is certainly a good first half for that Holy Cross offense. Peter Puyas, 11 of 18 for 116 yards. 1 touchdown through the air, 1 touchdown on the ground 3 scores overall for Holy Cross, but you got to wonder if they've given Monmouth some life here with that late score, as Darren Ambush going 81 yards off the quick pass to the outside for Cody Williams. Teams with now their first halftime of the season to try and work through some mistakes in that first half and get you set for what will be an exciting second half from West Long Branch, New Jersey. We're back for the break on ESPN3. Military Appreciation Day here in West Long Branch to kick things off. It's Holy Cross 21 and Monmouth 9. Let's go down to the field and join my partner Eddie Acapinti standing by with Steve Heller from the Wounded Warrior Project.
And we're now live on the field. Holy Cross in front of Monmouth at halftime, 21-9. It is Military Appreciation Day here at Monmouth University. It's supported by the Wounded Warrior Project, and I'm here with Steve Heller from the Wounded Warrior Project. And Steve, we're going to talk about a lot of things here at halftime, but first and foremost, you've been to Monmouth now a couple of times, lacrosse last spring, now coming back, and just talk about the relationship with the athletics program and the Wounded Warrior Project.
No, it's been great. This is our third event with Monmouth. We started 2 years ago with Coach Fisher and the men's lacrosse team, and our initiative started with WWP Lacrosse, as we called it. So we've done about 20 events a year, and then 2 years ago, Brian said, hey, we'd love to do something, which we did too, and we did 2 with him, which has been great, and then Caroline reached out to us and said, hey, how about football and basketball? We said we love it, so we're excited to be back on campus.
Yeah, absolutely, and to kind of let everyone know, obviously, I'm sure a lot of folks familiar with the program, but just talk about specifically what does the Wounded Warrior program do for days like this, military appreciation, and as far as keeping awareness about our veterans.
That's our biggest thing with these events, is to continue to raise awareness. We have 60,000 alumni registered, and an alumni is somebody who is a registered Wounded Warrior. So we offer 20 free programs for them and their caretakers to take advantage of. And events like this allow us to raise awareness, raise some funds, kind of keep the idea out there that these individuals are going to need help every day, every week for the rest of their lives. And the more opportunities we get to do this and with these different athletic events, it's a great opportunity for us to keep that out there.
And we see, obviously, it's a national program, yes, and a lot of programs across the nation support. And I know we were just talking off camera. You've been to a lot of different events like this at other universities, and it seems everywhere you go to get a really good ovation, really good reception.
We do. We get great reception. It's funny. Holy Cross, the men's lacrosse team, did a great event for us last spring. They raised $9,000 in one day. So it's neat to see now the Holy Cross football team here on Military Appreciation Day. And that's been a really enjoyable thing for us, is that we've been able to get another generation of individuals involved, the next generation that's got to kind of pick up that flag and carry it forward for these Wounded Warriors. And the more opportunity we can do that, the better we are.
And it's something, and it's very interesting in speaking with Steve Heller from the Wounded Warrior Project. You come to a campus like Monmouth where there is no ROTC, there is no military presence, but how important is it for these undergrads to see kind of what goes on with the veterans when they come back from service or when they retire from active duty?
No, it's very important. If you think about next Friday being another anniversary of 9/11, a lot of these players today were in grade school at the time, and maybe they're just starting to get an appreciation for what happened and what sacrifices were made. So that next generation for us is very important to kind of make aware of what happened and the sacrifices that were made, and they're the next group that we're looking to kind of be the leaders of the country, as well as kind of help these warriors for the rest of their lives.
Right, absolutely, and here at Monmouth University, obviously it's all around athletics, and that's why we're here with the football game. You yourself, an athlete, 1993 graduate of West Point. You were a lacrosse player too, and was this something you wanted to be involved with from your time as a cadet all the way through service till now?
It was. I mean, I love doing everything I do. I love being, a former athlete, love the whole athletic side of everything. So a couple years ago, Adam Silva, who's the Chief Development Officer for Wounded Warrior Project, he and I are classmates and teammates. We both played at Army together. And he wanted to launch this initiative around athletics and get this whole component. He called me up and said, would you want to get involved? I said, in a heartbeat, yes. I mean, this is great for me to come back and be on the sidelines and really, talk about what we do and do that in an athletic environment. It's not better than that.
And kind of let everyone know, quickly as we wrap things up, what would be the most important thing? How can they get involved with Wounded Warrior?
I think the best thing is, engaging the communities. They can go to www.woundedwarriorproject.org. They can look to how to register an event, create an event. We have all kinds of resources to help them out. And individuals like myself will get involved, and as often as we can, come to those events and be a part of it.
Well, Steve, we really appreciate a few minutes here. Good luck with this and all the events, and we appreciate it.
No, thanks so much. Thanks to Monmouth University. This is great.
Steve Heller from the Wounded Warrior Project. Holy Cross in front of Monmouth, 21-9 here on Military Appreciation Day on ESPN3.
Nice and calm here at halftime. Take a peek at some of the out-of-town scores involving some of the Big South and the Patriot League teams. Back on Thursday, Kennesaw State new back into college football against East Tennessee State University, also re-energizing their program. Big win for Kennesaw State, 56-16. Charleston Southern, one of the top contenders in the Big South, with a 41-14 win over North Greenville. And then some Patriot League stuff. Saw a big win for Fordham last night. They were able to knock off Army up at West Point, 37-35. Outstanding game for the sophomore running back Chase Edmonds. Lehigh with a win over Central Connecticut State University up in Connecticut, 20-14. Navy is leading Colgate in big fashion as that game continues to roll along right now. St. Francis, PA with a sizable lead over Georgetown, 34-14. Those are the only other games in action. A bit later on, there are some stuff coming up later this afternoon and tonight. Presbyterian will be at Miami of Ohio. Redhawks will host that game. Also tonight, South Alabama welcoming in Gardner-Webb. Coastal Carolina, the number 5 team in the country, will be at Furman. And Liberty, one of the front runners for the league championship again in the Big South, will play host to Delaware State. That game at Williams Stadium at 7 p.m. Preseason polls for both of these respective conferences. You can see Monmouth in just their second year in the league in the number 6 spot overall. Kennesaw State 1-0. They're a first-year program. They are at the bottom of the poll as one would expect. Coastal Carolina, Liberty, Charleston Southern, the top 3, Presbyterian, and Gardner-Webb making up the rest of the top 5. It's been a while since Colgate was able to win the Patriot League, all the way back to 2009, and I should say Holy Cross. Been a while since the Patriots, the Crusaders rather, were able to win the Patriot League title. 2009, right now picked in the 6th spot. Fordham, the defending league champ. We saw last night what the Rams can do with that win over Army. Bucknell, Colgate, Lafayette, Lehigh, Holy Cross, and Georgetown kind of winding things down in what is expected to be another good year. In talking with Tom Gilmore, the head coach, during the course of the week, did say thought Fordham was still better than everyone else, as the Rams have been the last couple of years, but the deficit kind of shrinking just a little bit, and that second spot should be real fun, real entertaining. And boy, what we've seen out of Holy Cross so far in that first half, no reason to think that the Crusaders cannot improve on what was a 2-4 league season, part of a 4-8 overall campaign. 6 of those losses by 7 points or less. Halftime continuing here. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have stats and highlights for you. It is Holy Cross 21 and Monmouth 9. We're back from West Long Branch, New Jersey on ESPN3. Halftime continuing here in West Long Branch. You see Holy Cross with 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 1 in the second to go up 21-9. Monmouth got that late score on the dynamic run from Darren Ambush. Good performance so far, Eddie, from Peter Pugliese. Cody Williams, 6 of 8, 122 yards, had the 1 turnover that came back to cost Monmouth.
Had 1 turnover, Matt, had 1 almost turnover as well that stopped a drive. How about you look at those numbers, and for Williams, it looks sparkling. 6 of 8 for 122. He threw for more yards than Peter Pugliese. It's just that Pugliese was more consistent, moved his team up and down the field all half, and he's in complete control of his offense. That score for Monmouth was big for their momentum.
Yeah, about 3/4 of those yards from Williams came on that 1 run from Darren Ambush, who leads things offensively for the Hawks. 3 catches for 93 yards. Holy Cross got off to that great start on the run from Daquan Walker. Crusaders have just been a little bit sharper here during the course of it. Gabe Guild, a couple of big carries. That the first score of the day for Walker to put Holy Cross up by a score of 7-0. Monmouth able to kind of hang around a little bit, but it took a long time for the Hawks offense to finally get some zip.
Yeah, the defense made a few stops. It took until that last possession of the half for Monmouth's offense to wake up. They started to get Levon Chaney moving a little bit, but it was the sharpness of Pugliese really the reason why this is 21-9 going into the second half.
Seen 3 ball carriers for Holy Cross have at least 30 yards. Walker 35, Guild 35, Pugliese with 31. 3 different receivers, all the top 3 catching at least 3 passes for Holy Cross so far. And as you would expect, maybe a little bit more veteran leadership for Peter Pugliese leading the way for Holy Cross on top of Monmouth by a score of 21-9. We are back here as teams making their way on during the course of the week leading in. Kevin Callahan, the Monmouth coach, talking about, well, what might be a strength for this team. Secondary going to have to be right in on everything that we do. Our front 7 are going to have to do a good job. And so far, Eddie, let's think about that quote specifically, that Monmouth defense. Thinking about the defensive line, it's been a theme for us during the course of it. Hawks have struggled a little bit controlling the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Matt, that's evidenced by Holy Cross averaging over 6 yards a carry, and it's not just Peter Pugliese doing it zone read. They are lining up and they are beating Monmouth up front off of the football. We talked about it in our open. It was a concern that this defensive line, with some guys banged up, could be a point of maybe weakness on the defense, and so far, through 30 minutes of football, big-time advantage for the Crusaders.
Tom Gilmore thinking about his quarterback, Peter Puglias. They think we have a very good player. Well, I'll say this. He is a very good player. Very mature, good leadership, patience, and understanding, all on display. His numbers pretty good in that first half, accounting for just about 150 yards of total offense.
He's been as good as advertised. This Monmouth team saw that guy, Peter Puglias, back in 2013 in his first ever action as a freshman. Well, what has he done since then? He's been the unquestioned leader of the Holy Cross football team. He went out, was second team All-Patriot League a season ago, led this team in rushing, leads them from a leadership standpoint as well, and he is, I would say, the major reason why they can be a player and a potential force in the Patriot League. When you got a guy who's your signal caller, who can lead you on the field and off the field, it makes you a dangerous team.
You know, having seen that game back in 2013, Puglias was the third quarterback listed on that day, and I can remember specifically thinking after watching the first two, and Holy Cross really struggling against Monmouth through a good chunk of that game. The second Puglias came in, you just got a sense that he had that extra something, you know, that little bit of zip, that little bit of fire, and he led his team almost to a fairly dramatic comeback, and since that point, he hasn't looked back.
Well, hasn't come off the field, first of all, hasn't looked back like you said, and the team around him just seemed to play better that day when he came in. Coach Gilmore kind of recognized to us, they knew at some point he was going to be the guy, just not sure. Well, the circumstances thrust him maybe earlier into that lineup than he wanted, but he's responded like a true leader does. And I know we're talking a lot about him, but it's with good reason. 116 yards through the air, 31 on the ground, couple of touchdowns already, and he is as advertised and potential Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year, along with guys like Chase Edmonds from Fordham, and so many talented guys in that league.
Set here for the second half to start. Monmouth did receive the first half kickoff, so it will be Holy Cross to get their crack offensively here first. Lucas Santangelo with the ball falling off of the tee. Has the wind behind him a little bit, northeast wind. And as we mentioned, the Atlantic Ocean just about a mile down the road, so usually you'll get that sea breeze that will kick in. Having driven up along the ocean on the way to campus here this morning. Rough conditions and a heavier than normal breeze. Santangelo has it sent the way that he wants and will charge this one pretty good. It will send Raymond halfway back into the end zone. He will take a knee and it will come out for a touchback.
So now what do we keep an eye on? Now we need to see, can Holy Cross just pick up where they left off in that first half when they were incredibly efficient? Or does Monmouth, on the back of that long touchdown play to Darren Ambush, have a little pep in their step and a little bit more momentum? The unit that has struggled is this one for Monmouth. It's the defensive group, and that's also been, up to this point, the strength for Holy Cross, how good they've been offensively.
217 yards of total offense for the Crusaders, who will open up with a 4 wide receiver set, 2 either way for Puglias to work with. Guild, the single back in the backfield, will get the carry. Big hole up the middle. And Gabe Guild, the junior, will run his way forward for a gain of about 7. Guild, the junior from Overland Park, Kansas. Right back to the line here for second and short. Puglias will run pass option, and he is tripped up just behind the line of scrimmage. Better job for Monmouth that time, bringing some pressure from sophomore Mike Basile.
Yeah, Basile able to shoot the gap from his safety spot. Watch, here you see, he cuts down the angle and then darts right at Puglias' ankle, and he'll get credit for that tackle, forcing this third down.
It was Andrew Foster who made the initial play. Big third down set for both of these teams. 3rd and a long 3. Tight stack formations either way. Tight end to the right for Puglias. Wants to throw, in trouble. First time today that Monmouth will get a sack. It is the 5th-year senior Andrew Jarzynski who will make it 4th down.
You said it. It was the breakthrough for this Monmouth defensive line. You can see the pocket collapse around Peter Puglias. There, Jarzynski just throwing the lineman in front of him out of the way and able to get to the ankles of the Holy Cross quarterback. And there you see, we talked about at the beginning of that drive, which side was going to seize momentum. Right now, Monmouth trailing 21-9.
Joe Johnson, the senior from nearby Manchester, New Jersey, awaiting the punt. Pressure coming. Fitzgerald gets off a dandy. Johnson will call for and make a fair catch right around his own 23-yard line. Opening possession. A quick 3 and out for Holy Cross. It'll be Monmouth's turn when we come back with 13-13 remaining. MU getting some pressure. Pressure from fifth-year senior Andrew Jasinski had been a problem in the first half, but Monmouth able to force that punting situation on this defensive play.
There's a big-time play from a veteran on the outside, discarding Hunter Hudgens, the junior offensive lineman. And there you see some other times that Monmouth has been able to get some heat on Peter Pujols, and the defense is slowly starting to settle in, now giving the football back to Cody Williams and the offense. They cashed in on a long touchdown last time.
First crack from scrimmage here for the Monmouth O. Williams will keep it and slide forward to the 28-yard line for a gain of 4.
They fake that time, the end around, but I'll tell you, if that defensive lineman keys in on Cody Williams, that's a fly sweep going to Darren Ambush. Multiple option play.
Cheney off on the far side. He'll have a first down and a bit more. Out over the 40-yard line, close to the 43, gain of 15 for the junior tailback.
You'll see it down that right side. The offensive line blocking better, and I think more so that was Levon Cheney beating Holy Cross to the point of attack, surging forward as he's now near 60 yards.
Ambush will drop it. Similar play to what he scored on right before the half to set up 2nd and 10. You know, we talked about earlier in this game how important that offensive line would be for Monmouth to control things. Those first couple of early running plays, an indication that maybe they're starting to get it together a bit more.
And maybe it took them just that many series to start to get comfortable with Cody Williams with his first start, and also obviously, like we said in our open, first game jitters for everyone. Who's going to settle in?
Ambush with motion behind. Will catch it behind the line of scrimmage. Looking for a block forward. Will spin his way over the line of scrimmage. Get close to the 45 for a small gain. 3rd and long coming up for Monmouth. Good defensive job on the edge. Aleem Muhammad able to kind of close this play down and fight off the block of Reggie White Jr.
You see Monmouth continuing to test the perimeter of the Holy Cross defense. That one with ambush. Crusaders up to the challenge. And now something that you never want facing really any quarterback, especially one making his first start, another 3rd and long.
Cheney on the ground off the right side. Second effort will spin forward, taken not just into Holy Cross territory, but knew exactly where the yard marker was and will stretch it out for a first down on an 8-yard pickup.
Cheney was slow to get rolling in this game, but he's really starting to pick up some steam, Matt, as he's now up and around 6 yards a carry as Monmouth tries the quick snap.
Hit back behind the line of scrimmage this time around and dropped by Kyle Young, the junior linebacker, joined by Nick Macbeth on that last stop.
This was the 3rd and 8 play. You'll see Cheney get that zone off tackle play, and Holy Cross had dropped back into his zone defense, allowing things in front of him. Cheney able to surge forward and get that first down before losing a yard on the subsequent play.
Williams looking to the sideline. Flares it to the outside. Ambush. Slip screen coming forward. Gets to the 43. Gain of 4. Another 3rd and sizable coming up. 3rd and about 7 for this Monmouth offense.
And how many times are they going to go to the well? And that's the little flare pass out to Darren Ambush.
Cheney stretching it out right side. Down to the 40 for a 3-yard pickup. You get the sense on a call like that you're thinking you've got 2 downs to get a first down. Let's see if Monmouth leaves the offense on.
Yeah, and there's no signs of them coming off of the field. That's why you run it on that 3rd down play, because now you know you're going to go for it on what looks to be 4th and a long 4.
Ball's at the 40. Monmouth needs to get to the Holy Cross 36. Plenty of time on the play clock. Williams will give it to Cheney, this time off the left side. He'll have the first down and more. Inside the 30, breaks a tackle 25, stays on his feet at the 20, and will rumble his way forward down to the Holy Cross 14.
Well, Monmouth has seen something in the Holy Cross defensive front, because in that first half, it was tough sledding everywhere. Now they're confident enough to run it 4th and 4 to the wide side of the field. Levon Cheney really picking up speed, and look at the defensive line of Holy Cross. They were everywhere in the first half. That time the seas parted, and credit the Monmouth O-line for opening up those holes.
One Maryland tailback checks out for a second Maryland tailback. Zach Welsh, the number 2 man on the depth chart, slipping in here. Welsh had just 1 carry in that first half. Williams wants to throw on 1st and 10. Going over the middle, has got a big target in Hakeem Vallis, who will haul it in down inside the 5, take it to the 3 for what will be a 1st and goal for the Monmouth offense.
Here's the theme we've seen this drive. The offensive line playing well. Williams had time to survey the field. He allowed Vallis to cross all the way over. Look at the time he's going to get up front here. Tons of time. Vallis comes clear, and he can go high up to make the catch. Big 5th-year senior target is number 80.
Monmouth will go with a wildcat look. Look for Cheney to get the direct snap. Williams will set himself as a receiver to the left side of the formation. Cheney gets it. Trying the right side. Will pop it down to the 2-yard line. Gain of 1. Nice defensive job by Dwayne Cameron, the 6'4", 250-pound senior, to close things down.
And Holy Cross said enough is enough. We know it's coming here. Monmouth ran that play a lot of season ago. Cheney can run and throw. And they're going to keep the same formation.
2 receivers sat right. Williams splitting out a bit wider to the left. Botch snap. Cheney will have to go back and fall on it right around the 25-yard line. It will be a loss of 21 yards as they'll spot it at the Holy Cross 23.
We've seen Williams mishandle a couple of snaps. This one all on center Alex Thompson. That's a bad snap that Cheney did well just to track down and get on top of. So now if you're Monmouth, you're thinking 1st and goal. We're going to punch in for 6. Now they'd be lucky to even get a settle for 3 with this 3rd and very long.
Reggie White Jr., good target to the left side. Gray in motion. Williams looking, sets up screen back to the right for Cheney. Breaks 1 tackle the line of scrimmage, run out of bounds around the 20-yard line. Hawks unable to get kind of back on track. They will bring on the field goal unit and perhaps have to settle for 3.
Nice pursuit on the play by Kyle Young after that initial tackle was missed. Young pops Levon Chaney out of bounds. And now, not a gimme field goal here, so credit Holy Cross for tightening up after that bad Monmouth snap.
This will be a 37-yarder for sophomore Matt White. Good snap, good hold, it's blocked. Hanging into the air, recovered by Holy Cross.
Matt, 2 times in this game, Holy Cross has made big-time special teams plays. The one was that first punt return, if we remember back, from Khalif Raymond that set up score number 1. This one, the block to keep this game at 21-9. And that was after it seemed as though, and feeling the game as we do, that the momentum had shifted to the side of Monmouth. Holy Cross will have none of that, and they'll now have it, 1st and 10.
Taken over at their own 22-yard line. Here's the give up the middle for Walker. Gain of a yard to the 23. Minnick and Talley involved in on the stop.
Nearing the 6-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. You know, Matt, this is a big, big series here, as we'll get another look. Tough to see the number on who got it necessarily. It was a good block by one of the Holy Cross linemen.
4 wide receiver set. Again up the middle. It is Walker to get the carry. He'll take it to the 27 before being pushed back. Sikowski and Basile comboing on the stop with Demetrius Smith.
And before that replay was going to make the point. This is a huge, huge series. And now a big, big 3rd down. Ticking down here in the 3rd quarter. Holy Cross has been stuck on 21 for a while. Monmouth has inched back in this game. We'll see who can take advantage and try to get momentum back on their side. Right now, it feels like a 50-50 game.
Puyas on a dangerous 3rd and 5. Will flare it to the outside. The catch is made by Guild, who's dropped by the senior Johnson.
And they try a little flare pass to Gabe Guild. Monmouth not fooled at all. Johnson was all over it. Big stop for the Monmouth defensive side. And with where he was stopped, should get the ball in decent field position. Here you see 2-8 fly up from his cornerback position.
Johnson will move back as a punt returner here. Coming forward as this one from Fitzgerald will be hit into the wind. Hawks with pressure coming off the side of the foot of Fitzgerald. Not a great kick at all. Then it will roll out right around the Hawks' 44-yard line. So Holy Cross dodging one bullet as Monmouth had that bad snap. But now it'll be the Hawks in good field position with 4:39 remaining in the 3rd. We're back with the Crusaders up by a dozen. We have balanced out a little bit here, stabilized the score. This latest block coming off of the hand of J.T. Frank, the outside linebacker for Holy Cross, allowing the score to hold on a 12-point advantage for the Crusaders.
The most impressive thing on that block, I don't know if J.T. Frank even left the ground. He just kind of flicked his left arm up, and White with a low line drive kick that went right to J.T. Frank. But now Monmouth with the football back, down 21-9.
And another chance to get back into this game. Cheney will get it. He will edge out over the line of scrimmage for a gain of a yard. We'll see how the chess match continues. Monmouth had a pretty good set of offensive plays the last time around. The offensive line asserting themselves, and we'll see if Holy Cross does things a bit different.
That was a great shot of the newly dyed blue hair out of the back of Levon Cheney's helmet.
Ambush in motion. He'll get it on an end around. Had to go a long way. Will turn upfield and get into Holy Cross territory. Be spotted at the Crusader 48 and leave Monmouth with a 3rd down and long 2.
Cheney actually keying a block for the ambush on this play, and he spins over midfield. Last time Monmouth had this down in distance, they just went right off tackle to Levon Cheney, who is zeroing in on 100 yards.
Empty backfield set this time for Williams. Flaring it outside. Cheney catching it behind the line of scrimmage. Will bounce off a couple of tackles and will get the Hawks a needed 1st down to the Crusader 44.
Yeah, that was a much needed 1st down. That time, I like the creativity from Kevin Morris. Let's get the ball to Levon Cheney, but not in the backfield. They flare him outside. He was the 2nd leading receiver on this team, Matt, in 2014, and he always seems to fall forward, and he bounces so for the 1st down.
And 49 catches for 359 yards. Williams, an ambush coming together on a zone read off to the right side. There was a flag just as the football was snapped.
Watch the mesh point here. It's not a smooth transition at all, and that's got to be done faster and smoother between Williams and ambush. And when your quarterback and ball carrier aren't on the same page, that's how negative plays happen.
We'll call it 2nd and 12 with less than 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Holy Cross showing blitz, bringing J.T. Frank up on the corner. Williams, one of the rare times taking time in between plays. Settling in the pocket, blitz coming over the middle. The intended target was Zach Fable, the backup tight end. Can't hang on to it. And it will set Monmouth with another one of those 3rd and long. Seems like we've said that a bunch today. 3rd and long for the Monmouth offense.
Well, it's been one of two things. Either Monmouth has been ahead of the chains and they've been moving it well, or when one thing goes wrong, and that's a really nice play made right on the back of Fable by Nick Macbeth. The biggest thing, Matt, is being consistent. It's been all or nothing for Monmouth offensively, and even though you take a look at the stats, they have gained more yards up to this point than Holy Cross, just that the Crusaders have been able to cash in.
Key 3rd down situation coming here for Williams. Cheney off to his right, will stand a block. Williams able to step up, look for a seam, hop through, but not nearly enough for a 1st down. Mike Galantini, the defensive tackle, working back to make the stop. And it looks like Monmouth will leave the offense on here on what will be a 3rd down and about 7.
You can see the really good surge from the start of that play. Dwayne Cameron, the first Crusader back there. Coverage was good downfield. And I like this decision from Kevin Callahan. Really too short to punt. You've converted a 4th down already in this half. Give it a go.
Cheney motioning in out of the backfield. Williams, circle route, has Cheney open at the 30, will make the catch down inside the 20. Lowers the shoulder and gets 5 more yards, pushed out around the 15-yard line.
What did we talk about coming into this game? Could Levon Cheney be the guy when everyone knew he had to be the guy, and an offense that could be built around him? He has been really good, especially after that 1st quarter. This a huge play. Nice adjustment made on the back shoulder, and then lowering the boom right here for that first down.
First down and 10 from the Holy Cross 16-yard line. Here's Welsh running it off the right side. He'll pop down to the 11. Taken down by Cameron off the defensive end. We work down towards a minute remaining here in the third.
You know, it's been a back and forth game, Matt, which is funny to say because Holy Cross hasn't relinquished the lead at all in this game. But momentum-wise, you can just feel this game ebb and flow.
Quick pass to the outside for ambush. Movement, however, on Monmouth will cost them 5 yards. Hawks have had some untimely penalties during the course of the afternoon today. Maybe some first game jitters still kind of working themselves through.
Well, and don't forget that one turnover as well, which led to an easy Holy Cross score. Without that, this is a one-score game, and Monmouth driving to potentially take the lead, as there's now less than 1 minute to go in a quick-moving third quarter.
Clock is running for Williams on what will be 2nd and 11. Gives to Cheney, who is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Well defended that time inside by Teddy Kapsis, the freshman defensive lineman from East Williston, New York.
You see Holy Cross, which was gashed earlier in this quarter for big gains. Not fooled there. That was a really nice play by Kapsis. Closing in, hanging on to Cheney, just a freshman, playing on that defensive line.
Monmouth will let the quarter roll out, and we have played 3 here at the Jersey Shore. Opening weekend for both of these teams with 15 minutes left to decide this one. Still up for grabs. Monmouth on the march. They'll have it 3rd down and long when we return. Holy Cross up 21-9. There's Cody Williams, the redshirt freshman from Springfield, Mass. Threw for close to 7,000 yards, 30 wins in his career. Looking for win number 1, however, here as a collegiate quarterback, has his team on the move. Monmouth has stalled a couple of times down inside the red zone. Another chance here for Williams on what is a huge 3rd and 11 to start the 4th quarter. Gonna roll to his left. Has some room in front, lets it go, finds a man. It's Reggie White Jr., who will make the catch at the 9 to get 7 of the 11. I think Monmouth realizing here field goals won't necessarily do it. Hawks have put 1 up on the board, had 1 blocked. The way the offense has been moving, they will take a chance here, partner, on what is a crucial 4th and 4.
Yeah, this is a big, big play with Monmouth down 12.
Ambush in motion. It'll be ambush. Little stretch to the outside. He's got a first down inside the 5-yard line. We'll take it close to the 2.
That's a gutsy play call from Kevin Morris, running jet sweep action with Darren Ambush, who has the full arsenal on display here. He's one of Monmouth's fastest straight line players. He's able to get outside and get just enough uphill, square those shoulders for a big first down. That was a huge play.
1st and goal from just outside the 2. Direct snap to Cheney. Sizing it up off the right side. Gets down to the 1, where it will be 2nd and goal.
We've seen Monmouth go to this play a lot in the last couple of years. They go to that wildcat look. They keep the quarterback on the field, but when they've done it in the past, it was without a mobile quarterback, as Cody Williams was the motion man. And Holy Cross hasn't been fooled a couple of times, and this was also the formation when Thompson skipped it back towards Cheney, where Monmouth lost 20 yards last possession.
2nd and goal from the 1. Cheney gets it again. Cheney held out, trying to stretch forward. Touchdown, Monmouth. Just enough to break the plane, despite the argument of the senior captain, Matt Baya, and the Hawks have pulled to within a score.
Cheney was surging the whole time. He just reached that ball at the last second before his knee went down. Here you'll see when it happens. White Jr. in motion. Cheney was initially stopped. There it is. It was that little lunge that broke the plane, and now we have a 1-score game.
Matt White on for the extra point. This could be a replay situation, just to make sure that the ball did cross. Can see the referee kind of looking off to the outside, and they will say touchdown. There will be no review.
And all scoring plays are reviewed, so they took a look at it, got the go-ahead. And it was Monmouth's 2nd touchdown of the game.
White with the extra point, and that will pull Monmouth to 21-16. 13:23 to go. Levon Cheney, the junior, able to punch one in from a yard out to make this a tight ball game. There is a good shot of what might be the best hair in college football. Not maybe on full display, pulled back just a little bit, but Eddie, as you mentioned earlier, the newly dyed blue hair for Levon Cheney. When that thing is up and poofed out, it's something to see.
Oh, it's as good as it gets in the game. And obviously, game day number 1, he's got to have the blue in there to match the home blue jersey. Don't sleep on Michael Jolly's hair right next to him either. That's an impressive do, and it's been an impressive afternoon for Cheney. 1 yard shy of 100, and that last touchdown to make this 21-16.
Monmouth not back at home for the better part of a month. I'm going to look and see what Eddie can do with his hair next time out. Pooch kick, and a fair catch is called for by Holy Cross. That one popped up in the air by John Coleman, the sophomore from Sparta, New Jersey, and it will give the Crusaders the ball pretty decent field position to start at their own 33-yard line.
When we take a look at what Holy Cross has done since really the midway point in the second quarter, and Matt, the advantage has gone to the Monmouth defensive side of things. Peter Pujols, just 113 yards throwing. He hit 100, I think, right around the first quarter, and then running the football. Not as efficient as they were earlier.
They go one better for you, partner. They had 217 yards as a team at the half. They had 7 in that third quarter. This is Guild off on the right side. He'll take it out over the 35, get close to the 39-yard line. That a 6-yard pickup.
His partner, when I look at things like that, I see who made the adjustment at halftime. Favor Monmouth. But now, who's going to adjust off of that? We'll see what Coach Gilmore and crew have in store.
Pujols wanting to throw, will dump it down for a big target. That is the tight end, Lucas Nicolason, the 6'5", 260-pound junior. And that was a position of strength. When we talked to Tom Gilmore, said it's good not to just have one, but a couple of tight ends for Pujols to be able to throw to.
Just a big, big target. And Coach Gilmore mentioned to us a lot of his tight ends had FBS offers. The size of them surely dictate that. Nicolason, as you said, 6'5", 260.
Give up the middle this time will be for Walker, who will roll forward before being pushed back out to the 47 for a gain of 3. Demetrius Smith, the tackle. Smith, one of the guys who's back from a year ago anchoring that defensive line, started all 11 games. Younger brother of NBA standout J.R. Smith.
He lopped the 9 off of the jersey. Last year, Demetrius wore 95. This year, going with the slimming single digit.
Pujols, play action, wants to throw, has a man open just out of the reach of Wyzorek. You would expect Wyzorek to make that catch probably 9 out of 10 times. This time, however, not able to haul it in.
Well, he is so sure-handed. Last season, he's the returning leading receiver. Gets matched up with Deontay Fair, the true freshman safety. A bit of a miscommunication in the Monmouth secondary. And that throw, Matt, it looked good from here, and I thought it was on the money. Wyzorek just bobbled it a little bit. Now a big 3rd and 8.
See Fair still with his hands on his helmet a second ago, realizing that he fell for a pretty good move from a veteran receiver. 3rd down and long. Pujols has time, throws over the middle. Catch made by Flaherty, who is lit up by Anthony McDonough. McDonough hailing from Philadelphia. No brotherly love with that stick.
That's an old school Philly knockout there from Anthony McDonough. A veteran who's made big plays in his time here in West Long Branch. You see Flaherty on the drag. He doesn't have time to turn around before he's accordioned by McDonough, and that's a huge stop on 3rd down.
That hurt me rewatching it up here in the box. 4th down and 4. Fitzgerald on to punt. Angling this one towards the sideline. Johnson making another fair catch out around the 13-yard line. Credit Monmouth. They have held Holy Cross off the scoreboard. They will come back on for the first time and seems like forever. Hawks will have a chance to take the lead with a touchdown. 21-16. Holy Cross the advantage. We're back right after this. back here from West Long Branch, and you see Levon Chaney coming off here holding the right shoulder, and we'll get a look at that last first down call. Chaney catching it, taking a good shot here, coming up to make the stop. 38-39 for Holy Cross. Kyle Young, JT Frank forcing a turnover, and the Crusaders have it again. This time they'll get it down inside the Hawk 15-yard line.
And Matt, it was a double shot of negative for Monmouth. Not only the fumble by Levon Chaney, but then he comes off the field favoring that right shoulder. So Monmouth's best offensive player being looked at on the sideline now with the athletic training staff, and Holy Cross with a chance to punch one in.
Referees having a conversation. I think this might be something that they will take a look at a bit more on replay. We'll see if we can pull it up again. Not sure if they're going to see if Chaney was down or perhaps if someone from Monmouth had it on the bottom of that pile.
Well, you see our head referee going to run all the way over and get a look at things. We'll get another look at things as well. We'll see what Stuart Mullins is looking at. The catch is a completed one. It's actually near being behind the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure what. Okay, so we know it's a fumble. That's clear. Now the question is, who are you going to say recovered it? Looks like a clear recovery by number 90, Jack Kultsky. So now, I'm not sure what you're going to look at, but Matt, it looked like a catch. It looked like a fumble, and it looked like a clear recovery from Holy Cross. And it looks, when the review takes 4 seconds, they agree.
It is a clean recovery for Holy Cross. And the Monmouth defense, which is held up pretty well here in this second half. Now you're at that stage where if you can force a field goal, you feel pretty good about it. At least it stays at a one-possession game. Holy Cross up here by 5. 3 more on the board gets them to 8. Second time, however, today, Eddie, the Monmouth has fumbled the ball deep inside their own end. Holy Cross able to cash in the first time. Now Monmouth really needs to come up with a big defensive play of their own.
And the defense has been, as you pointed out earlier, has been great in the second half. They only allowed 7 yards to Peter Puyalls and Holy Cross in that third quarter. But you give a good quarterback and an experienced offense this opportunity, more times than not, they take advantage.
Puyalls is on with Walker to his left. 2 receivers set off to the left side of the formation. Walker will change gears and go to the right side. Puyalls wanting to throw. Good pattern thrown in the end zone. Broken up at the last second by Celestine. Wyzorek, the intended target.
Yeah, they ran the nice little natural pick play on the outside as Wyzorek was teaming up with Khalif Raymond on the outside. It looks like a wheel route to RI. Here you'll get another look at it. Watch you see Raymond cut in. Tries to get just a little piece of Celestine, who's able to read his eyes and knock it away at the last minute.
Second down and 10. A shade over 11 minutes remaining. This is the give up the middle for Walker. He's hit at the 10, dropped at the 10. Andrew Foster, the Michigan State transfer, are leading the way with that defensive charge. Again, if you're the Monmouth coaching staff, you sign here to force a field goal. This is a huge third down.
Yeah, this is a huge play here. That's the difference between Holy Cross continuing to hold a 1-score lead or potentially being a 2-score advantage.
Third down and long. Puyalls checks over the defense. In the gun, has receivers either way. Straight drop, dumps it in the flat. Guild will make the catch. Not going to have it up for the first down as he's pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And the Crusaders will bring on the field goal team and the fairly reliable Connor Fitzgerald. This is pretty close to being almost an extra point where Fitzgerald is automatic. 11 of 17 last year, kicking from distance.
Looks as though Peter Puyalls had 2 reads. There was 1 read into the end zone. He didn't like what he saw right away, took the safe completion underneath with right at 10 minutes to go in our 4th quarter.
22-yard field goal attempt. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is square through the uprights. 24-16. Bend, break a little bit. That Monmouth defense, credit Holy Cross with now cashing in on 10 points on Monmouth turnovers. Big reason why the Crusaders are up 24-16. We're back from the Jersey Shore with more of the fourth quarter on ESPN3. Four-play, 7-yard drive for Holy Cross, a 22-yard field goal from Fitzgerald, 24-16. Defensively here, Eddie, in the second half, Monmouth has been very, very good.
Matt, after Holy Cross scored 21 in the first half, Monmouth has only allowed that field goal on the last drive. They have been stout up front, and they've really limited one of the better dual-threat quarterbacks in FCS football in Peter Pujols, and it's been due to the defense that Monmouth has slowly climbed back into this game.
Approaching here is Wasp. High end-over-end kick. Royds halfway back in his end zone will take a knee and settle for a touchback. It'll come out to the 25-yard line for the Hawks with 9:52. Still a one-score possession in this game, the season opener between Monmouth and Holy Cross. Levon Chaney injured on that last turnover. Won't come back out here for at least the first down. Was being tended to. Look like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he still has the pads on. We think he'll be good to come back into the game.
Williams rolling. Good strong throw to Ugo Azema, the freshman who will make it. I mentioned some of these freshman wide receivers having to be thrust in with the turnover. So many veterans from a season ago gone for Monmouth. Azema, very talented man, went to St. Joe's Montvale, one of the top high school programs here in the Garden State.
Yeah, the coach is really high on him, had a really good training camp. That's how you get on the field as a true freshman.
8-yard catch. This is Welsh up the middle. He'll have big yards and take his way into Holy Cross territory. Stop made by Ahmed Tyler, the sophomore free safety.
Biggest run from someone not named Levon Chaney this afternoon. Here you see Welch, more of a north-south guy, gets upfield for big yards.
Williams in the flat, throwing behind Vallis, who was open. Would have been at least the first down, and Vallis had some room in front of him. Instead, an incompletion will stop the clock with just over 9 minutes remaining. Redshirt freshman Cody Williams, his numbers so far in the day, 15 of 20, 185, has the one score, the long one, right before the halftime break to Darren Ambush.
Yeah, almost half his yards on that play.
Welsh on the ground. Welsh, good strong run off the left side down to the 41-yard line. There is a flag thrown. This will be a hold on the Hawks.
That's been a theme in this game that we've had to keep an eye on, has been Monmouth shooting itself in the foot. Couple of penalties. How about number 7? Also turnovers as well.
It's the 6th penalty on Monmouth so far today. 6 also on Holy Cross.
Hopefully not an example of foreshadowing on my part.
2nd down and long. 4-man rush. Williams wanting the deep ball, looking for Reggie White Jr. It is intercepted. Running underneath Aleem Muhammad, who was a true freshman a year ago as a starter. His first interception this season.
Penalty, turnover. That is a drive killer for Monmouth. They really haven't tried anyone deep, so Williams tees one up to Reggie White Jr. Muhammad had it played better than the Monmouth wide receiver. And that's a nice catch on the outside by a very good-looking true sophomore for the Crusaders.
Monmouth defense, who we just featured in that package minutes ago, quickly back on here. Here's Gabe Guild hopping up over the pile. Small gain on 1st down. I think the Hawks may have had something or found something in Andrew Foster, who's getting a lot of playing time here in this 2nd half. He's kind of sealed things off at the left defensive end spot. Now on 2nd and 9. Pujols will start under center. 3-step drop. Fakes it off to the left side, runs back right. Just barely getting over the line of scrimmage. 7:45 remaining here in this 4th quarter. A lot of missed chances here for Monmouth. The blocked field goal, failed 2-point conversion, and Eddie, the latest of those 3 turnovers.
Yeah, the first couple were fumbles. Cheney's led to a field goal. Williams in the first half led to a touchdown. We'll see what Cody Williams' interception yields here.
3rd down and long. Pujols. Late pressure coming. Going to step up in the pocket, try and run for it. Will slip off of a tackle, and with the 2nd effort, get an extra yard, just enough for a 1st down.
Veteran quarterback knows where those sticks are, and once Pujols broke contain and got in the open space, he was able to shake off a couple different defenders. Watch this. You don't think he's got any chance here. Nice block on Demetrius Smith. Here a missed tackle from Deontay Fair, the true freshman, and that enables Pujols to gain just enough for the 1st down.
Fair makes that tackle. It's 4th down. Instead, a fresh set of downs here for Holy Cross. Play action for Pujols. He's got a man wide open down the seam. That catch is hauled in and made by Darius Lacey, the sophomore wideout from St. Petersburg, Florida.
That play action fooled everyone. The Monmouth linebackers cheated up so much as soon as it happened, and you'll watch the pinpoint right there. Everyone biting up. Everyone goes into retreat mode. And there's Lacey behind the defense. Only Basile there to bring him down.
Lacey just 4 catches a season ago. Puts Holy Cross back down in Monmouth territory from the Hawk 29. Trickery as a handoff coming here to the left side for Walker. Will run it down inside the 25, get to the 22-yard line for a 7-yard pickup. Wonder, after making play after play after play, is that Monmouth defense becoming a bit tired?
When Holy Cross has had the ball, they've really gone on long drives. Saw number 13, Lakeith Celestine, come off the field. Marcus Leslie now on in his place.
Draw play for Pujols. Will fall, I believe, back behind the line of scrimmage. Setting up another big 3rd down.
You know, Matt, it's weird. You look at the numbers and the stats, and Monmouth has had the better time of possession, but it just seems as though the defense has been on the field all afternoon.
Holy Cross 6 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. Pujols will take his time. Play clock down inside of 10. Wanting to throw, this one almost intercepted by Basile. Instead, it will fall for an incompletion, and it will push Holy Cross to bring the field goal team on and try to make this a 2-score game.
Big kick coming here. You see Basile upset that he dropped that one. Instead, I think he should be thrilled. Look at that athletic play. Mike Basile getting way up there. Anticipated that play perfectly. And now setting up this field goal, which is a huge one to potentially make it 2 scores.
40-yard attempt for Fitzgerald. He was 0 of 3 last year from 40 and beyond, but hits a huge one here to put his team up by now 11. 27-16. It certainly helps when you have a senior kicker that can come in from Bloomington, Indiana, from 40 yards out. Fitzgerald makes it an 11-point advantage, 27-16, Holy Cross. (27-16). It's not going to get any easier for Monmouth next week. The Hawks will play in their first ever FBS game against Central Michigan, team that gave Oklahoma State all kinds of problems a couple of nights back. 3 o'clock kickoff that you can watch on ESPN3. At Wagner, at Fordham. Tough 3-game road trip coming up for Monmouth. For the Crusaders, they have that week 2 bye before playing down at Towson. Patriot League opener against Colgate, and then some non-league stuff against Albany and Brown. That field goal, a big one, has provided Holy Cross with a 2-score advantage with 5:11 now remaining as a touchback coming. And the Hawks will have it 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Alongside Eddie Occhipinti, I'm Matt Harmon. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here from West Long Branch, New Jersey. Just a mile due west of the Atlantic Ocean on a busy Labor Day weekend.
But how good does it feel, partner, to say that football is back?
One of those dates you circle on the calendar. See if Monmouth has some late game heroics here for the redshirt freshman Cody Williams. Gets the snap, wants to throw, flares it to the outside. The catch is made by Pat Gray out to the 32-yard line, gain of 7. Gray, good story, converted defensive back. Redshirted last year, made the switch in the offseason to be a wide receiver.
Played 2 ways in high school. Was one of Monmouth's leading interceptors in his time in the secondary. Now receiving passes from Cody Williams.
Williams wants to throw, dump it down over the middle for Welsh, who will make the catch, get half of the yardage needed. 3rd and short coming up here for the Hawks. Levon Cheney's still in uniform, but since he got popped in the shoulder, has not re-entered the game. Williams gonna roll left, stop throw. Man wide open on the far side. It's Reggie White Jr. who will make the catch, get forward. Out over the 45 to the Hawks' 47-yard line.
Fourth catch for Reggie, who is the son of Reggie White from the NFL, but not the Hall of Famer. Reggie's dad played 4 seasons in the NFL, played for the Chargers in their Super Bowl appearance.
Williams wanting to throw, looking in the seam for Ambush, who can't hang on to it. Good jarring hit by Luke Ford, who missed 7 games at the end part of 2014. A couple of interceptions for the 6'2", 211-pound junior from Glenview, Illinois.
And that one was on Ambush. Williams put it right where he needed to. In between coverage, just took his eye off the football at the last second.
White in motion. Williams sets up screen back to the left side. Welsh has it, has some room in front. Good push forward. Getting out to lead the charge was Hunter McHugh and Alex Thompson. Left guard center combination, and a flag, however, will bring this one back. A costly penalty for Monmouth. An illegal block or hold called on Alex Thompson.
And what we talk about just a couple minutes ago, it's been the Monmouth miscues in this game. We, in our open, discussed early season jitters. I don't know if it's jitters or just lack of execution, but these miscues have really hurt the Hawks this afternoon.
2nd down and 15 after the penalty. Welsh in motion. Empty backfield set for Williams. Stops over the middle. Great catch by White Jr. He'll haul it in Holy Cross territory down to the Crusader 46.
Climbing the ladder, the redshirt freshman, Reggie White Jr. Now catch number 5.
Inside carry for Welsh, looking for the first down. Forward progress will get him past the yard marker. Chains will move. Clock is continuing to run with now 3:05 remaining in the 4th.
That was that sparkling grab from White Jr. Such a big catch radius from the young receiver.
Williams getting the snap. Throwing over the middle for Ambush. Short gain to the 39-yard line. Time now becoming certainly a major factor in this game. You can see it running in the bottom right of your screen. 2:45 to go on 2nd down and long. Williams throwing deep, looking for Pat Gray, who will make the catch down inside the 15-yard line. They will spot the 5th-year senior at the 9. That's great concentration.
Great concentration on a flow that kind of faded a little bit. Williams did put it out there with enough arm strength, and Gray does an excellent job knowing he's going to get popped to make the catch and stay in bounds.
Clock is still running, however. Monmouth needs a quick score and then a likely onside kick attempt. Ambush in motion. Williams rolling left. The edge is set. Will tuck it and run and hustle out of bounds at the 5-yard line to stop the clock with 2:07 to go in the 4th.
So instead of just winging it out of bounds, Williams does pick up a handful of yards. And you said it, it's going to come down to score and then hope to get an onside kickback with now under 2 minutes to go. I'm not sure why the clock wouldn't stop with Cody Williams running out of bounds.
Second and goal from the 5. Welsh to the right. White Jr. will get it. End around setup. Has nowhere to go and will get dropped for a loss of 5. Timeout will be taken for Monmouth. Good job by Luke Ford coming up to seal things off and make sure White didn't have any room in front of him. Timeout has been taken by Monmouth with 1:27 remaining. 27-16 the advantage for Holy Cross. You can see that last play. White just unable to get anything going. No spot to ever turn upfield. If the result holds as it is right now, Holy Cross will, I'm sure, be thrilled to walk out of a road game with a victory. Crusaders starting their 120th year of football. They have lost their last 5 opening games that have been on the road. One of the more storied programs in 1AA now, FCS football. Williams on 3rd and goal. Throwing into the end zone. Wanting Gray. It's deflected away by Ford. Now on 4th down. Guess you could make the argument that Monmouth could settle for the 3 right here to make sure that they get the points on the board, and that's exactly what the coaching staff will decide on. Good end zone view of the intended target, Pat Gray. You got to make sure that you get 11 anyway, so why not take what you hope is a gimme in what will be a 27-yard field goal for sophomore Matt White. Certainly within his range, had a 38-yarder before. He will put this one through the uprights, and we've tightened things up just a bit to make it 27-19. Monmouth has got it back to within a 1-score game. Stick around post-game. We'll be joined by whoever turns out to be the winning coach to get immediate reaction of this contest. Just to finish the thought on the season opener for Monmouth, this would be one that I would imagine when the film session takes place tomorrow, it'll be missed chances, turning the ball over 3 times, having that result in 10 points for Holy Cross, missed 2-point conversion, blocked field goal. We mentioned at the outset, young team with a quarterback who saw no game action a year ago in Cody Williams, and essentially a brand new group of wide receivers. Williams won the job about 10 days ago when he was named as the starting quarterback after what was a pretty tightly contested battle during spring practice and all during the course of preseason ball in August. This will be number 41, John Coleman, the sophomore, to try and hit this one as an onside kick. Got to go 10 yards. It does. It's still open, and it's picked up by Reggie White Jr. The onside kick working to perfection. You got to make sure you get that second hop, and the sophomore wide receiver read it perfectly. Monmouth still with a chance here in the 4th quarter. Let's watch. Great kick. Credit Coleman. The high bounce, and there is bounce number 2. White stepping right in the middle of 2 Crusaders. 27-19. Monmouth needs a score and a 2-point conversion. Ball at the Holy Cross 49. Williams under pressure, steps up in the pocket. Will tuck it in and run. Trying to get out of bounds. Will get pretty good yardage. He'll have a first down, which will hold the clock for a second while they reset the chains. Now it's up and moving with 60 seconds. Williams stops, pumps, throws. Wanting Vallis defended well by Nick Macbeth. Williams with a pretty good decision, maybe minus getting out of bounds if he could, but at this stage you know you're going to need yards, and you cannot afford a sack with only 1 timeout remaining. Getting forward on what was that first down run for 10. 2nd and 10. Here's the give to Welsh. Hit at the line of scrimmage, cuts back well against the grain, Keeps his feet. He's going to have 11. That's going to be a first down. Clock holding with 47. Now up and going. Williams, good composure, throwing towards the sideline. The catch is made by Azema, who will take it down to the Holy Cross 22. Three wide receivers set to the right. Williams again will step up on the pocket. Eludes the rush a couple of times, lets it go, and will airmail this one out. Will stop the clock and set up a 3rd down and 5. Again, good recognition by Cody Williams, knowing you can't take a sack. Here's that last carry by Zach Welsh to get Monmouth a bit closer. Holy Cross coaching staff having a conversation with the head linesman. There was a late flag that came out on Monmouth, and ineligible receiver downfield was the call. So it will back up Monmouth 5 yards. They need to reset the play clock, and now we are sent here for action. Let's call it 2nd and 10 after the penalty. Williams, the snap, major pressure coming, throwing in towards the end zone, and this one is intercepted. That should do it on what will be the 4th turnover of the day for Monmouth. Matt Baya will haul it in. Named as a captain before the season for the 2nd consecutive year, and he will seal the deal with the INT. The ups and downs of being a brand new starter. Victory formation for Poulias. He will take a knee. And the clock will run out. Monmouth will elect not to use their final timeout. Holy Cross will open up their year at 1-0. Monmouth will fall to 0-1 on this new 2015 season. We'll step out for a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll join Eddie down on the sideline and talk things over with head coach Tom Gilmore of the winning Crusaders.
Thanks, Matt. On the field with a victorious Tom Gilmore, just seconds after Holy Cross's 27-19 season-opening win over Monmouth. Coach, congratulations. Hard-fought W for your team today. Talk about the win.
Well, we started out pretty strong, but we made some mistakes, some first game kind of mistakes. So I'm sure we can get those fixed moving forward, but it's great to start the season with a win.
And Coach, we talked to you during the week. The offense, which had so many experienced guys, made a lot of plays early and then enough late to get the win. Talk about that unit.
Yeah, I mean, we have some talent on offense. Like I said, we did some things to shoot ourselves in the foot, but they're all correctable errors, and I really expect us to have a very productive season offensively.
And Coach, final question, just how is it, talk about what it is opening a season, a 2015 campaign with expectations with this W on the road.
It's important. I just think it gives you a shot of confidence, and we made some mistakes, so we know we have to work on a lot of things, so we're not going to be overconfident coming out of this, but it sure feels good to start with a win.
Well, Coach, congratulations with the win. Good luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Matt, we send it back up to you. Holy Cross victorious over Monmouth.
All right, Eddie, appreciate it. Congratulations to Tom Gilmore, who gets the victory here, his 61st in his now 12th season at Holy Cross. Some